So hello everyone. So today we will talk about the backend design. Okay. So as you can see in this particular slide, we have a backend which is exposing some API, and that is the main center point of this application. So this API will be used by this edge device and the UI application. Okay. So let's talk about the Springboot application to build the API. Okay. Now let's jump to Eclipse or STS. Okay, so we have a project. Okay, so my project name is race test. Okay, now in this Spring Boot project we have controller class, this smart building controller, this controller class I am using. Okay, now in this class I have four important method or API, basically add sensor, update sensor, find all sensor data. Okay, so these API will be exposed and will be used for our operation purpose. So the edge device will use this sensor update sensor data. Okay, so it will call this particular API and update the data in every minute. And the find all sensor data, this will be used by the UI to get the sensor data in every, whenever it called, like every 30 seconds. Okay, so I will tell you this Spring Boot application, it's a REST API. So we have marked this as a REST controller at the cross origin. We have marked because we will use two different machine. The request will be generated from some different server, and after that we have implemented a service class. So this is our service class. This is also, we have four method: add building, update building, delete building, find building, and find all building sensor data. Okay, so from this service class we were calling this DAO, that is database access layer. Okay, so you can see here, so we have this in this DAO class, the data access layer, we have also this method add building, update, delete, find all. Okay, and the data sources, data source. Okay, so we have, this is a component class, we have marked this as a component. AutoWord, we have AutoWord the JDBC template and data source to initialize our data source. Okay, here you can see we have initialized the JDBC template with the data source, and here is our logic. Okay, so find all building sensor data, we are fetching the data from this collection. So before that I should say that we have to design the data model. Okay, so data model, we have, this is my table name. Okay, smart building sensor details. Okay, this is my table name. We are querying this table. Okay, so here I have written the business logic, like the value, if it is greater than 5, I will consider that working as a backend. If it is else, it is considered as a occupied. So this is the business logic. This is because this is a very simple project, we are marking this as a very simple logic. Okay, there are, in the real-time project there are lots of other complex thing also present. So we are calculating the parking slot number, the slot number 1 2 3, right? In this diagram you can see. Okay, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5. Okay, this number is also coming from this particular logic. Okay, from the key we are converting the key into a slot number. Okay, this is for the find. And now update. Okay, this is the update building sensor data. So we are updating the building sensor data, sensor value every 1 minute we are updating. So we are updating the timestamp. Okay, our primary key is the device ID and the sensor key. Okay, so this is how we are updating the data through the API. So this is our API. So let me run that API, then run this application. Okay, So I'm not sharing the source code right now. If required, I can share. If someone want to see the code, you can comment me. You comment me, and I will share you one to one. So you can see Spring Boot has an inbuilt Tomcat and it has been started. It is running at the port number 8084. Okay. So now I will test this API. Okay. I will test this API through the Postman. Postman is a tool using which we can test that any API. So here I am updating the sensor data. Okay. So meanwhile also open the database so that I can show you how we are updating the data in database. Okay, so in the Postman I have configured the local test. So this is my local host, the port number. Okay, so this is the Java server for the local test. Now application is running, I believe. Application is running, its database is opening. Okay, let me show you. So this is my payload. Okay, update sensor, it has a post method. Okay, this is the post, this is the body. Okay, request body, and we have sending the data as a JSON format. So in this is called JSON payload. So this is we are sending the this sensor detail, the floor number. We have some parameter like room number. Basically that is not a room number, it will be a slot number. Then we are sending the device ID, the device type, A for analog, the sensor key, which is actually coming from the this data actually coming from the edge device. Okay, so this will be programmed, this will be written in this in the node MCU itself. Okay, the timestamp also will be written in the node MCU. Okay, so now if I update these, okay, let me, this pgadmin is taking time. Okay, so if I, this is distance, this is a sensor key, distance inch 4. Okay, the value is 20. Okay, now before that I want to, let me show you the find all data. Okay, so okay, so I am, for this API find all data, I am passing the payload as the sensor device ID. Okay, this is my sensor device ID. Let me send it. Let's see what is coming back. I am getting status 200, means it's okay, and I am getting all the sensor detail. The sensor key 1, it is 0. Sensor key 2, okay, this is also 0. This is sensor key, this is also 0. Now this is sensor key 4, this is also 0. Now what I will do, I will show you, I will update it. Okay, I will update, suppose the value is 30. Updated, you can see it is saying update successful, distance sensor value is 30. Now similarly thing I will check with the find all sensor. Let me run it. Okay, here you can see now distance 4 has been 30. Okay, now let me update another sensor. Suppose I want to update the key 1, distance inch key 1, that is 25. Okay, let me update it. Now let me also update around this API again. You can see distance inch 1 is showing 25. Okay, so this is the, these two API we will use for our project. The update will make the data update in every minute, and this find will get the data. We can use this API in any device. We can, if I want a simple iOS development, we can use this API for iOS. We can use this in Android, we can use it in Angular, in any other application. If Android, any React, anything, any front end you are trying to implement, you can use this API to fetch the data. Okay, let me see if the database is updated. This is the table, smart building sensor details table. This is the table we are using. Okay, run the query. Okay, so you can see this is my sensor device ID, this is the sensor key. I updated it 25, device 4, sensor key 4, it is 30. Okay, now again I am updating for a quick reference. Let me make it as 4. Let me query again. You can see it is updated. So every minute it will update in database the status. Okay, so based on that we can see the data. Okay, so this is how we build API. Okay, so if you want to know about the Spring Boot, there are lots of resource in YouTube available. You can choose any good resource. You can default learn something about Spring Boot. Okay, so this is how we build the API, the backend, and we will use, I will show you next video how we are integrating in the edge device. Okay, in a Arduino IDE in the Node MCU. Okay, thanks for watching. Thank you.